Okay, so let's just jump right in. I was looking at this spec sheet this morning
Oh, yeah?
for the Kramer CLS-AOCDP-UF-164. And, I mean, it just looks like a standard black cable.
Right.
But then you see the price tag, and it's just, wow, we're talking over $550 on sale.
It definitely wakes you up. But to be
Hmm.
fair, if you're buying the specific cable, you're not just tidying up the wires behind your gaming PC.
Like,
You're buying infrastructure.
that's the perfect word for it. This thing is
Right.
50 meters long. That's 164 feet.
Half a football field.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sending a huge data stream that far.
Yeah.
Well, the physics get really mean really fast.
They really do. And that price tag is basically the answer to a very specific engineering problem. How do you push an uncompressed 8K signal all that way without a single pixel, dropping out? Because at that distance, standard copper is just useless for that kind of bandwidth.
Right. The signal attenuation is almost immediate. It just falls off. So they went with an active optical cable here. But looking at the specs, it's not actually pure fiber optic, is it? It's a hybrid.
And that's the really clever part. Pure fiber is, well, it's fragile. This cable uses 4 multi-mode optical fibers for the heavy lifting.
For the video data itself.
Exactly, the high-speed stuff. But it keeps 8 copper wires in there, too.
What are they for?
For all the lower bandwidth signaling, the handshake between devices, authentication, that kind of thing. It's the best of both worlds.
So you get the speed of light for the picture, but the reliability of copper for the controls.
You got it. And that creates a data lane wide enough for HBR3.
High bitrate 3, which is a lot.
It's 32.4 gigabits per second.
That's the magic number for 8K resolution at 60 hertz, isn't it?
It is. And that right there is the value proposition. You're not paying for the materials so much as you're paying for the guarantee.
The guarantee that the signal arrives perfectly intact.
If you're installing a huge video wall in a corporate lobby, you can't have it flicker. You just can't.
Okay, but this is the part of the engineering that really stood out to me.
Go on.
When I see the word active on a cable, I just brace for a headache.
The little power adapters?
Yes. The little USB pigtails hanging off the end that you have to plug into a wall charger. It's a mess.
It's a massive point of failure, too. Someone unplugs it to charge their phone and the screen goes black?
Exactly. But this Kramer cable doesn't have one.
Nope. It's so efficient, it powers the entire light show, the optics, the lasers, using less than half a watt.
And it pulls that power straight from the DisplayPort connector itself.
Straight from the source. For an installer, that is a huge deal. It means this 164-foot cable behaves exactly like a 3-foot one.
You just plug it in and it works.
Plug and play. The whole optical conversion happens right inside the connector shell. It simplifies everything.
And speaking of installers, let's talk about the physical build. I was surprised by how thin it is. Only 4.8 millimeters.
Which is crucial when you're trying to snake it through a packed conduit.
Sure, and it has a 48 millimeter bending radius, so you won't snap the glass fibers inside. But I think for a commercial building, the most important spec is probably LSHF.
Low smoke and halogen-free.
Yes.
Now we're getting into the real why this costs over $500 territory.
I figured. What's the story there?
Your cheap cable from Amazon uses a PVC jacket. If there's a fire, that PVC burns and releases halogen gas.
And that's bad.
It's incredibly bad. When that gas hits moisture, like, say, in your eyes or your lungs, it essentially turns into hydrochloric acid.
That is a horrifying visual.
It is, and it's why building codes are so strict about it. LSHF materials don't release those toxic gases.
So you literally can't put a cheap cable in the ceiling of a hospital or an airport.
You can't. So you're not just buying a video cable, you're buying compliance. You're buying safety.
And you definitely don't want to replace it once it's in the wall. I saw the pull strength is rated for over 25 kilos.
That's the insurance policy part. Imagine the cost of tearing open drywall and renting a scissor lift just because a $50 cable snapped.
The labor cost alone would just dwarf the price of this cable.
Exactly. You pay the premium up front, so you never, ever have to think about that cable again. It's part of the building's nervous system.
So when you put it all together, it sort of starts to make sense.
I think it just shifts your perspective. We always fixate on the visible tech, right? The 8K screen, the computer.
Sure.
But in this world, the pipe is every bit as critical as the pixel.
It really makes you rethink all that invisible infrastructure. We spend all this money on a beautiful display, but without a serious piece of engineering like this connecting the dots.
It's just a black mirror.
Just a black mirror. Well, that's our deep dive for today. Thanks for listening.